Hello, good morning to all of you. We have completed first credit. Today we are going to start credit number 2. In that unit number first, wetland and the conservation of a wetland. Today we are going to see this chapter or this content of your syllabus. Let's say myself, Mr. Mukul Barond, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, Sanjeevani Arts, Commerce, Science College, Kopargaon. Let's see what is my wetland. Wetland is an area of a land that situated with the waters. That means any land that are situated by water is known as a wetland. That means sea, that means ocean. Any land that is surrounded or the situated in that water is present in that land, that is known as a wetland. There are the many different kinds of wetland. Many ways categorize them. NOAA classified the wetland into 5 general types: marine, that means ocean; estuary, that means estuarine; riverine, that means a river; lacturine, that means lakes; and palustrine, that means a marsh. That are the NOAA classified the wetlands into different types on the basis of their water are situated in that area. The next common name of wetland include marshes, estuaries, mangroves, mudflat, miles, ponds, fens, swamps, deltas, coral reef, billabongs, lagoons, shallow seas, bogs, lakes, and flood plains. That is nothing but the name are given that wetlands on the basis of water or their plants are present in that area. Often found that along the sides of waterways and the floodplains, wetland vary widely due to the differences in soil topography, climate, water chemistry, and vegetation. Large wetland areas may also comprise of several smaller wetland types. Let's see different types of wetland. I have explained marine, that means they are having the salt water. It is also known as the coastal wetland. Let's see characteristics of that land. Permanent shallow marine water less than the 6 meter deep at low tides include the sea bay and states. Marine subtidal aquatic beds include the kelps beds, sea grasses beds, and the tropical marine meadows. Sea coral reefs, rocky marine shores, that is nothing but different types of parts or the characters of that wetland. We are seeing the marine wetland. That means where are the saline area is present, that means salty area is present, too much salt is present. In that it may be a permanently or the temporary shallow. In that marine tidal aquatic zone or the aquatic bed, they having the aquatic beds, they include the kelps beds. Then at the shores they having the rocky area or the stones are present. They include the rocky offshores, iceland, or the sea cliffs. Then sand, shingle, pebble shores include the sandbar, speed, sandy isolates include the dune systems. Then estuarine water. Permanent water is a estuarine. Estuaries system are the deltas or the G intertidal mud sand of the salt flats. Intertidal marshes, it include the salt marshes, salt meadows, salting grays, salt marshes including the tidal brackish, freshwater marshes. Intertidal forest wasteland, it include the mangroves, swamp, nipa swamp, tidal freshwater swamp, and the forest. Then coastal brackish, saline lagoon, brackish to a saline lagoons with at least a relatively narrow forest. Then coastal brackish, brackish saline lagoon, at least one relative narrow connection with the sea. Then coastal freshwater lagoons, it include the freshwater and the freshwater with the delta lagoons. That is nothing but the characters of that area, that is known as a marine coastal. Then inland wetland, permanent inland deltas, permanent rivers, streams, creeks, seasonal implemented irregular streams, creeks, permanent freshwater lake, seasonal intermediate freshwater Lake include the floodplains lakes, permanent saline, brackish alkaline lake and the flat. Seasonal, intermediate seasonal brackish alkaline lake and the flat. Permanent saline, that means brackish alkaline or the marshes or pools. Seasonal intermediate saline, brackish alkaline marshes and the pools. Then permanent freshwater marshes, pools, ponds, marshes, swamps, inorganic soils with the emergence of vegetation, waterlogged for at least most of the growing season. The seasonal intermediate freshwater marshes, pools on a inorganic soil include the sludge, potholes, seasonally flooded meadows, and the siege marshes. That is nothing but the inland wetland. Then man-made wetland. That are the two types I have explained. Relatively, those wetland are present naturally without any interference of a man, and this time it is created by the man has created for its benefits. It is beneficial that land, that is known as a wetland. Aquaculture pond, for example, for the fish or the shrimp cultivation or the production, that has made it. Then ponds include the farms, ponds, stock ponds, small tanks generally below to 8 hectares. Then irrigated land include the irrigation channels and the rice fields. The seasonally flooded agriculture land, salt exploitation sites, salt pan salines, water storage area, reservoir, barrage, dams, excavation, gravel, brick, clay pits, borrow pits, and the mining pools. Wastewater treatment areas, sewage, farms, settling ponds, oxidation basins, then canal and the drainage channels, ditches. That is nothing but the artificially created by human for its own purpose. That means a cultivation for the fish or the shrimp or the anything like a rice field, production of rice or the cultivation of rice. It is also one thing important. Let's see wetland classes: inland and the coastal wetland. Wetland types, that is a freshwater swamp, reservoir, large ponds. Then coastal wetland, it is also known as a marine, that means estuary or the brackish backwater, mangrove forest, coal, kutand, pukai wetland system, coastal swamp, mud flat, aquaculture pond, and the isolate with a tooth. That is nothing but that are the major two types, and on the basis of two types, which type of a system or the water are present, that I have explained. Then water purification, that are the important concept related to the wetland and its types. Now let's see what is the water purification. Water Wetland are the protect water quality by trapping the sediments and retaining the excess nutrient and the other pollutants such as heavy metals. This function is especially important when the wetland connected with the groundwater or the surface water, such as a river and a lake, that are in turn used by human for the drinking, swimming, fishing or other activity. That same function also critical for the fish and other wildlife inhabit of this water. Sediment nutrient and the toxic chemical enters in wetland primarily by way of runoff. The term used as a describe the rain, stormwater, travel and over land surface on its. The way receiving water in urban areas, runoff, washes, building, streets, and the industrial, commercial, residential area where pick up the pollutant and carry them receiving the water, such as Puget Sounds, rural area of agriculture of forest practices can affect on the runoff. Where the runoff drain freshly plowed field or the clean cut areas, it may be a carry too much sediments. Runoff may be carry pesticides and the fertilizer if they have been applied to the land. That is nothing but the water purification, how water are the enters in the wetland and how that are polluted, but how we can maintain that wetland purify. That means it is basic things to purify the waters. If we have to manage such systems, we have to control that pollutant enters into the wetland. We have to convert or the we have to do the water management. The affected waters turns to the which area do not harms. Okay, that are the things of water purification. Let's see another importance, that is flood protection. You have to do water purification first things, or the principle we can see the wetland. First is water purification, flood protection. If any wetland get water do not purify the wetland, it is not properly growth, or the wetland it should be, we can say the, that is not in a proper way, so that we have to do such things. Let's see flood protection. Almost any wetland can be protected from the major flood protection, holding the excessive runoff after the storms and the releasing it slowly. The size, shape, location, and the soil type of wetland determine its capacity and reduce the local downstream flooding. While the wetland cannot prevent the flooding, they do the lower flood peak by temporarily holding the water and by slowing the water velocity. Wetland soil act as a sponge, holding the much more water than the water soil types. Even the isolated wetland can reduce the local flooding. If the wetland were not there, hold the storm water, runoff, backyard, and the basements might suck the end the water under the water. That is nothing but you have to learn about the wetland. In that wetland, such as water purification, it is done very easily, and protection, flood protection also done by the wetland and the another type of a system. That means it is also importance, or it is also principle we can consider, that we can explain. Then shoreline stabilization. Wetland that occur along the shoreline of a lake, or along the banks of a river and the streams, that helps to protect shoreline soils from the erosive forces of waves and currents. The wetland plants act as a buffer zone by dissipating the water energy and providing the stability by binding the soils with other extensive root system. That is nothing but the shoreline stabilization. Let's see groundwater recharge and the stream flow maintenance. Let's see aquifers and the groundwaters are the recharge, that are the replenished with the water by a precipitation that seeps into the ground by a surface water. Those wetlands are connected to the groundwater system. Aquifer are the important areas of a groundwater exchange. They retain the water and so provide time for the infiltration to occur. The groundwater in turn provide the water for the drinking, irrigation, and the maintenance of a stream flow and the lake and reservoir levels. During the period of a low stream flow, the slow discharge of groundwater often helps to maintain the minimum water level. In addition to wetland located along the streams, lakes, reservoir, release the store water directly into these water levels. In addition of the wetland located in the streams, lakes, reservoirs, may be released the store water directly into this system, thus also contributing to their maintenance. Wetland may be intricate the connections with the groundwaters, stream flow, and the lakes, reservoir, water level, and make them essential in the proper functioning of the hydrological cycle. That is nothing but the groundwater. It is a recharge. That means a wetland also important for the groundwater recharge. Groundwater recharge and the stream flow maintenance. That means that artificial reservoir that we can maintain with the help of a wetland. Then fish and the wildlife habitat. In the wetland, they having the not only the domesticated plants, they having also wildlife also. Let's see what is meant by wildlife or the fishes. Many species of birds, fishes, mammals, reptiles, and the amphibians rely on the wetland habitat for the breeding, foraging, and the cover. The special wetland condition provide the unique habit for the species that cannot survive elsewhere. Migratory birds depends on the wetland, and the many endangered threatened animal species require wetland during the part of their life cycles. The incredibly high rate of wetland, the loss has been contributed to their demise. Wetland plants and small animal, especially insect, are the essential link at the lowest level of a food chain. The wetland environment support these plant animals, which turns to support the larger animals feeds on them. While the otter trout may be a more attractive species, protect some animals or plants later on are no less important in the overall scheme. If we diminish the lowest level of a food chain, the highest level will be suffer as well as. That is nothing but important. It is also one type of importance or the principle of a wetland. Then economic benefit. We are saying that the benefits and the principles. We have completed 2 3 benefits and the principles. Now see the what is the economic benefit from that wetland. The economic benefit associated with this environment value. Wetland also can be a substantial if, for example, community had built the flood control or water treatment systems, replace those functions provided by wetland. If the cost could be for out of weight, the land purchase price preserving natural wetland systems. Similarly, when wetland lost their value as a fish habitat, this value difficult to the replace, and consequent losses of recreationally commercially fishing industries can be significant. These are the 8 precise formulae we can use to determine the accurate dollar value as per acres of a wetlands. But the more than I learn about the wetland, the higher that value of a becomes. That means economic. That is not value of water purification. That is not value of wildlife habitat. That is not value of anything else that are the benefits. But main benefits economic. For example, flood control. Flood control human cannot done by artificially. But if human want to do artificially, human want to create that wetlands. In that create wetland, and then flood control can be a control. It is a done. It is a very costly. But it is not only the flood control system, but it is also industries, fishing, that are also very costly, and that give a wetland very easily and free of cost. So wetland, it is the most economic in the nature for the human. Then other benefits. Some other values associated with the wetland will be you and yours alone. No one else can really says that open space means that you and your family. How your wetland affect on your quality of life, and how you have value for its aesthetic contribution, personal matter. You or the member of your family may also get a recreational benefit from the wetland. Nature photography, birding, or the simply quiet the time of a peaceful place. That is nothing but the importance of a wetland. Then which are the wetland are in India? There are the number of wetlands. In India there are the 71% water, or on that there is 71% water, and that may be a marine water, that may be fresh water, that may be lake water, that may be a river water, that may be groundwater, any water. So the wetland will be a more in quantity as compared to our land. India has a wealth of wetland ecosystem distributed different geographic region. Most of the wetland of India directly or indirectly linked with the major river system, such as Ganges, 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 Kaveri, Krishna, Godavari, and the Trupti. Tapti. India has a totally 27,403 wetlands, out of which 23,444 are the inland wetland, and 3,959 are the coastal wetland. According to Director of Asian Wetland 1989, wetland occupies 18.4% of a country area, excluding the rivers, of which 70% under the paddy streams. Of a wetland, 1.5 million hectares are natural, while 2.7 million hectares are the man-made. The coastal wetland occupies the estimated that is 6,750 square kilometers, and are largely dominated by mangroves vegetation, about the 80% of Iceland, with the rest of a coastal state of Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, Goa, Maharashtra, and Gujarat. The wetland in a southern peninsular India, the mostly man-made and known as a areas or a tank. They may have constructed every village and they provide the water to various human needs. Beside the serving the nesting, feeding, breeding site for the large variety of birds. At the points of a Calamire in Tamil Nadu, Astamudi, Sastikomata, and Vembanodi Coals Lake in Kerala, Kolleru Lakes, Andhra Pradesh in some natural wetlands in South India. Okay, that is nothing but the structure or the places where the wetland present in India. Let's see which are the wetlands. I have generally explained the distribution of wetland in India and where they are present. Let's see actual wetland. Where are they? First we called as a Himalayan wetland. Ladakh, Jhanskar, Pongong Tosu, Tusumora, Chanshu, Nurichan, Chusul, and Hanlai Marshes, Kashmir Valley, the Langar, Ular, Haigmung, Malgam, Hukersa, and the Kranchusu Lake. The Central Himalaya, Nainital, Bhimtal, and Nochistal. Eastern Himalaya, numerous wetland like Sikkim, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Nagaland, and the Manipur, Bills at Brahmaputra and the Barak Valley. That is nothing but that are the wetland are present in a Himalayan regions. Then Indo-Gangetic wetland. The Indo-Gangetic floodplains are the largest wetland system in India, extended from the river of Indus in the west of Brahmaputra in the east. It includes wetland Himalaya, Terai, and the Indo-Gangetic plains. Then coastal wetland. Coastal wetland, that means water, that are the marine water. The vast intertidal area of mangroves lagoon along 7,500 kilometers long coastline West Bengal, Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Goa, Maharashtra, Gujarat, mangrove forest, the Sundarbans, West Bengal, Andaman and Nicobar Island, offshores of coral reefs, Gulf of Kutch, Gulf of Mannar, Lakshadweeps, Andaman and Nicobar Island that are present in a coastal wasteland of India. Then Deccan, the few natural wetland, but innumerable small and large river are several water storage tank. Almost every village in the region of Deccan. Okay, the first part of chapter is completed. That are the wetland, its types, and the distribution in India. Let's see how we can conserve the wetland. Threats. First we see what are the threats for the conservation in the wetland. The Wildlife of Institute of India survey reveals that 70 to 80% of individual freshwater marshes and lake in the Gangetic plain, the flood plain, have been lost there 5 decades. At a presently only 50% of India having the wetland remains. They disappearing at the rate of 2% to 3% every year. The Indian mangrove area have been halved almost 7 lakh hectare area in 1987 to 4 lakh 53,000 hectares in 1995. A recent estimate that based on remote sensing surely 4,000 square kilometer area of mangroves resource in India. The loss of wetland leads to the environment ecological problems which have a direct impact on socio-economic benefits associated with the population. The serious consequences including the increasing the flooding species, decline deformity, extinction, decline water quality, cold result. Wetland are also important as a genetic reservoir for the various species of a plant, including the rice, which staple food for the 3/4 world population. That is nothing of problems regarding to wetland conservation and why need to the conserve, because day by day that is the diversity or the number area has been decreases, and that is a very impact on the human socio-economic benefit. So we need to the conserve. Then how we can do the conservation of that wetland? The effort of conservation of wetland in India began in 1987. The main focus on the governmental efforts on the biological method conservation rather than adopting the engineering options. A national wetland mapping project also has been initiated integrated approach conservation. Certain wetland sites, the hurting to see the government, NGOs and local community coming together to save our wetlands and thus realize the objectives of Ramsar Convention. The National Committee of on Wetland, Mangroves, Coral Reef constitute advertising the government on the appropriate policy and the measure taken upon conservation and management of a wetland has the identified 93 wetland for the conservation of management on a priorities basis. That is nothing but anyone can protect, but government, NGOs and local community work together from the 1987's different projects like Ramasar conservation projects. That means Ramasar Sarovar on that conservation project we can do that conservation. Then protection laws and government initiative, that is nothing but government have to take initiative like a wildlife act. There are number of acts so that that wildlife are the conserve too much as compared to previously. Here also they having the developer or the made the act and the policy. Let's see which are the act. Indian Fishery Act 1857, Indian Forest Act, Wildlife Protection Act, Water Prevention and Control Pollution Act, Territorial Water Constitution Self Exclusion Economic Zone and other Marine Zone Act. Then Water Prevention then Maritime Zone Act, Forest Act, Environmental Act, Coastal Zone Regulation Notification Act, Wildlife Protection Act, the National Conservation Strategy Policy of Environment and Development, National Policy of Micro Level Action of a Strategy of Biodiversity. That is nothing but act and the policy done by the government through which that wetland can be conserved. Let's see how we can done that conservation. First we have to the protect. Primary necessity of today to protect the existing wetland. The many wetland India around the 68 wetlands are protected, but 3000 other wetland are of biologically economic importance but have no legal status. That means same. First we have to protect that out of in that wetland only 68 are the protect because due to the they having the various socio-economic importance, so all remainings are the free for the human use. Then planning, managing and monitoring, that are the second steps. Wetland that comes under the protect area network have a management plans but other do not. It is important for the various stakeholder along the local community, corporate sectors and other come together for an effective management plans. Active monitoring these wetland systems over a period of a time is essential. Then comprehensive inventory. There are no comprehensive inventory all the Indian wetland despite efforts of the Ministry of Environment Forest, Asian Wetland Bureau and the World Wide Fund Natures. Inventory should be involved in the flora and fauna and biodiversity. Along with the value, it should be taken into the account of the various stakeholder in the community too. Then legalization we also have to done. Some legal issue you have to settle them. Also the several laws and policy we have to set up. No special legalization pertain the specially this ecosystem. Environment impact assessment are needed to major development project highlighting the threats of wetland need to be formulated. Then coordinated approach. How we can coordinate and the approach. Since the wetland are the common property with a multi-purpose utility, their protection and management also need a common responsibility and an appropriate forum for the resolving conflict on wetland has to be a set important the ministries to allocate the sufficient funds towards the conservation of these ecosystems. Okay, that is nothing but a area we have to do. Then we have to do the research also. There are necessary research formulation, national strategy, understand the dynamic of this ecosystem could be a useful for the planner formulate strategy. Mitigation of population, scientific knowledge will help to the planner understanding the economic value and the benefit. These terms will help to the setting priority and the focusing the planning process. Then building awareness for the achieving any sustainable success in the protection these wetland awareness among the generic publics, educational and corporate institution must be created. The policymaker at various levels along with the managers educated as the country of wetland are the share bilateral cooperation resource management needs to the enhance. Then use of a remote sensing or the GIS wetland management systems, that are the most important things, that means technology are using for the conservation, that means GIS. Remote sensing data combination with the geographical information systems are the effective tools for the wetland conservation and management. The application encompass water resource assessment, hydrologic modeling, flood management, reservoir capacity survey, assessment of monitoring, environmental impact water resource project, quality of mapping of monitoring. Then flood zonation map we also have to done. What is my flood zonation map? We have to do the flood, where are the flood are the coming continuously, and on the basis we have to do the map, that means how flood area, that means how flood is coming, so that is map, it is a important flood zoning map. Satellite data are used interpretation of or the delineation of flood undated regions. Flood is a risk zone. Temporal data helps to the obtain the correct ground information about the status ongoing the conservation projects. That is IRS 1C by the D wipes 180 km special resolution of a flood inventory. Then water quality analysis and the modeling, that also important techniques for the conservation of a wetland. Remote sensing data are used to analyze the water quality parameter modeling. Water quality study can be done carried out using the relationship between the reflectance suspendent of a solid concentration and chlorophyll A concentration in near infrared wavelength, and the range of the amount of a suspended solid content is directly proportional to the reflectance due to the spatial and temporal resolution of a satellite data information source pollution and the point discharge inflow sewage can be regularly monitored using a IRS LISS second data. Monitoring the suspended load of a estuarine water Hooghly West Bengal in a GIS environment, that means a geographical information system. Okay, that is nothing but the water quality analysis we have to should do. Then mapping changes in the river coast, reverse course, we have to do the mapping and the course we have to change. Let's see, Hazra and Bhattacharya has studied the changes the river course of a Ganga Padma over a space and the time of a delineate and the vulnerable zone for the environment management using the visual entrepreneurship techniques to the identify the delineate the various geological features. The result indicate that a river will be shipped along the course due to the natural calamities, some places due to the anthropological interference and delineation of extinct river course because of its sensitivity to moisture of penetration capacity arid regions. Satellite remote sensing also helps to displaying the anomalies in the terrain that are the consume, that are the cause due to the pattern vegetation, water bodies, sand dunes, lithology, drainage courses, salt lakes, topography, and the slopes, natural breaks, which helps to the creating the conceptual model which extend the river course. Hence, that is prove effectively tool for the study course of ancient Saraswati more than the any other method. Then characteristic and function of a wetland. What are the characteristics and the function of a wetland? Water reaches to earth surface, rain and the snow. A portion of water falling on land steps into the soil that flow over a surface before the entering in the streams and a lake. The land the land area that supplies the water, particularly river, lake, is called as a watershed. We manage the watersheds and the water that produces the provide for the agriculture, human consumption, industry, flood control and the recreation. In this exercise we will be learn about the what make a watershed tracks, movement through the water hydrological cycle, explore the way which the scientists, engineers works to the manage the water resources. Watershed is the basic unit of a hydrological behavior on the land surface, geographically unit which hydrological cycle and its component can be analyzed. Usually watershed defined as the area that appears the basis of a topography contribute all the water that passes through a given point of a stream. Then classification of a watershed. Watershed can be classified using the measurable characters in the area like size, shape, location, groundwater exploitation, land use. However, the main classification of watershed discussed broadly, basis on the size and the land use. Two watershed at the same size may behave very differently if they do not have a similar land and the channel phase. They describe as a different watershed classification as below on the basis of a size. The main implication of watershed size appears terms the spatial heterogeneity, hydrological processes, the spatial variability, watershed characteristics increase with the size. Therefore, large watershed are the most heterogeneous. As the watershed size increases, storage increases based on the size. Watershed are the divided into three classes: small watershed, medium watershed and the large watersheds. Small watershed are the those where the overland flow and the land phase are the dominant. Channel phase relatively less conspicuous. The watershed highly sensitive to a high intensity and the short duration of rainfalls. Medium, being a medium size, workability of this watershed is easy due to the its accessible approach rather than the size, shape. Watershed plays important role. Overland flow and the land phase are a predominant prominent. Then large watersheds, these are the watershed less sensitive, high sensitivity rainfalls and short duration. These channel network, channel phase well developed and thus channel is considered as a storage dominant. Then land use. On the basis of a watershed, we can classify land use. The land use definite exploitation. Characteristic of watershed which affect also various hydrological processes within the wetland. The watershed are classified on the basis of a land use. Agriculture, urban mountains, forest, desert, coastal and the mix. Agriculture, wetland. That means the land are on the basis of agriculture use. Let's say agriculture. You have know the what is meant by agriculture and which wetland can be used for the agriculture, like uh, like like our rice field. That is one type. Agriculture watershed of agriculture activity is a dominant. It is a experience perhaps to most dynamic significant land use of a change. This usually leads to the increase infiltration, increase the erosion, decrease the runoff, depression. Storage also increases by agriculture operation. When the fields of barren falling, raindrops tends to compact of the soil, infiltration is a reduces and there is a lesser development of stream in a agriculture wetland. Then urban wetland, that means for the civilization purpose that wetland has been developed. These are the watershed areas having the maximum manipulation and the convenience for the human being. These are the dominant building, roads, streets, pavements and the parking lots. These are the feature of reduces infiltration land area that is increasing the imperviousness. The drainage systems are artificially built. The natural pattern of a water flow is a sustainable substantially altered for a given rainfall event. Interpretation depression storage is a significant, but infiltration is considerable reduced. That is nothing but the urban wetland. Then mountain wetland. Because of high altitude, such watersheds receive the considerable snowfalls due to the steep gradients and the relatively less porous soils. Infiltration is less and the surface runoff is dominantly high. For the given rainfall events, the areas of downstream mountains are the vulnerable flooding due to the snow, males, water yields, and the significant even the during the spring and the summer. Then forest watershed. Forest watershed, these are the watershed are present in the forest area. It is no any economic purpose. That are the only the wildlife or the natural purpose. In this watershed, in interception is a significant. Evapotranspiration is a dominant component of a hydrologic cycle. The ground usually litter with the leaves, streams, branches, and the woods. Consequently, when it rains, the water hills on the tree, and this ground provided with a great opportunity of infiltration, and the subsurface of a flow become a dominant. And there are the times when the little no surface runoff because the forest rest of the flow overland and the other peaks of a discharge reduced to complete deforestation. Desert watershed. Desert, that means in an area of a when dry condition, that are the watershed are the prepares. There is a little to virtually no vegetation of a desert watershed. The soil mostly sandy and the annual rainfall occurs. The stream development is minimal. Whenever there is a rainfall, most absorb the porous soils, and the sum of it evaporate, and the remaining runoff only the soak during the journey. Then coastal watershed. You have know about the coastal watershed. That means marine water. Marine, due to the marine condition, that share has been bent. That is known as that watershed. The coastal may be a partly partly be urban or the dynamic contact with the sea. There are the hydrology considerably influence the backwater from the wave of a tidal action of a sea. Usually these watershed are the receive high rainfall, mostly cyclonic types, do not have channel to control in a flow, and they are vulnerable severe local flooding. That is known as a coastal wetland. Okay, this is about today's lecture. We have see the what is mean by wetland and its types, its benefits, then watersheds and its benefits. Okay, if you have any doubts related to the wetland and its conservation, you can comment below the section. Thank you.